All right, I am back. I am back. I am back. Welcome, welcome, and I hope soon Black Jag will be back.
I love the kids.
Get some water, and hello, wonderful goddess provision. Hello, hello, and we were having such a great time on the podcast, so we are going to continue it. And here he comes. I'm going to wave. And
Tita sumosi na sala shreya sata sikini situ tishile sutiki sma na kasa atele sushi na masaya taki kisare shata na dati tukire shata tukire shima mo yes to konstales.
We're back.
We're back.
I had to eat some food, dude.
yeah,
It's much easier to be like speak authentically when you're fasting for some reason. Everything feels like it's much more smooth.
Yeah. So wonderful to have you guys back on this live. Great idea to continue on a separate one.
Yeah, I can stab things.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to use a filter today. This is hilarious.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, be all in your naturalness.
yeah. I kind of like this filter. I really like it. I feel it.
You know what's crazy? We went that whole time without talking. The whole time talking, I didn't even question it once. Like I just didn't even.
Yeah. If I'm going to add this.
When everybody is in the alignment of the frequencies, have you noticed that we don't have as many issues when it comes to connecting with each other? But when there is somebody that is, I almost want to say it's almost like questioning their frequency.
Uh-huh.
It's not as smooth.
That there's conflict.
Right.
And it's not necessarily like in a bad way, it's just they aren't acknowledging like where their vibration actually is versus what their perception of their vibration is.
Yeah, that's true. Able to multi-dimensional be able to flow in that, because that's what we're awakened to. To the growth of individuals who don't know where they're at yet and aren't totally in tune to how they flow, you know. So I think if we hold a higher vibration of space for them, that a lot of what we think is Instagram's glitches of us freezing, of us. Sometimes we blame it on the energy in the room, and sometimes it's just Instagram not having enough, you know, I don't know, bandwidth for what we are creating. What do you guys think about that?
You want to go ahead?
Either one.
Kind of going with the flow. Just kind of going with the flow, you know.
Mm-hmm. I know. So in it, when we and if you guys don't mind, I might make this a part 2 of my podcast, depending. So if there's something that you truly don't want as part of my podcast that goes out across, you know, my platforms, let me know.
I personally don't care. I'm cool with whatever. It's all just expression.
It's all just expression. I love it. So I love that one, Ray. That one's it. What do you think? And
What do I need a filter now too? I need to join the party. What do we got in here?
yeah.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. Hey, Doc. Doc of Hearts is another content creator I connected to on TikTok, actually. He reads energy through the heart. I guess is like the best way that I could describe it, but very fascinating.
Right.
Hey, Lila Bella. Connecting into her Fae language. So excited for her.
Tell me what?
I helped her activate her Fae language. That was her light language.
Great.
She didn't know when she was to start speaking light language, and then she connected to her fairy.
What is that? That's a background. Love that.
What's up?
That background.
I think it's a filter. It's like a big blossom tree thing.
Yeah, but imagine it's lavender in color, and then her wings are lavender as well. Wow. Awesome. So what we were talking about was being multidimensional and moving through the dimensions of what were we about? We were talking about I had stopped what I was saying in mid-sentence. So it was how I myself was moving through the multi-dimensional movements of growth, right? From being moving from Baptist to my Christian, born again Christian, into my spiritual development. Even then, I didn't know that was multi-dimensional moving or movement, that it wasn't just moving through life, it was moving through the dimensions. And the fact that you had told me when we were talking about the bird, why I couldn't see what type of bird it was because I had to go inward and have a conversation with that was still being hidden or needed to be revealed.
Gotta go deeper.
Yeah. And
it's interesting that you said that, because I was raised Catholic, but funny enough, I was baptized Catholic, but for the first few years of my life, I was actually raised around it's called East Williston Baptist Church in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to my spirituality, my spiritualism didn't start kicking into higher gear until I started connecting more to my pagan roots. And that was about the beginning of high school. Mm-hmm. But as long as I can remember, I have always questioned spirit one way or another.
You've questioned,
hey, Peter.
Or you just questioned the religiosity behind spirit or behind the way.
I'll give you a fun story. So right before I got communed into the Catholic Church, they were going through the refresher right before we were getting ready to go through the actual ceremony and process. And my communion was this big event. But right beforehand, when we were going through the process of it, we were learning about the tabernacle. And my child, but also very analytical brain at that age, was looking at this small little tabernacle, and my brain was like, there's no way a body could fit in there, because I wasn't understanding the logic of when they said the body and the blood of Christ. And I was like, well, a body can't fit in there.
Right.
So long story short, I got curious, this is way before I knew anything about, you know, my ADHD and my autism and all that other fun stuff. And I tried to go into the tabernacle. I got in big trouble because one of the big things when it comes to the Catholic faith, in most cases, you do not question anything about the Catholic faith.
Hey, come on, bro.
I had a more loose experience when it came to other spiritual backgrounds. And as much as I was very much raised in Catholicism, my mom, when it came to like me staying the night at friends' houses, she never had a problem with me going to other churches and experiencing different versions of spirituality.
That was the same thing as well. I mean, the moment I started embodying questions, you know, my mom said, well, you know, she would put her hands on her hips and go, well, Sandy, I don't have an answer for that, but I see that you need one, go find it. You know, as long as she always knew where I was, she knew that I was going to, I needed to fit the puzzle. Soul Sleeve. Hi, Peter. I just wanted to give you a shout out. Miguel, and tell me if I'm assuming, see, because sometimes we assume it sounds like you have a Spanish last name or whatnot. So, yeah. You know,
I grew up in a Catholic household. Yeah, if you're assuming, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
it still is that way, but I feel like they're more accepting of what I'm showing, I guess the what's been coming through. Like I refuse to just be in a single-minded space, but I do respect it in its own right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coexist.
So as a child, even as a child, you were, I'm gonna put it this way. The way it was kind of presented to me was, you know, pushing those boundaries of asking those embodying questions to adults when children. I grew up in a time era where children should be seen and not heard. You know, in most cases, you know, that kind of thing. It was just
as being younger, I didn't really have much of a choice. I kind of just, it was just it's like a cultural thing. It's like growing up, you know, you go to church on Sunday, you go to Saturday school, you do your thing, then you do your communion, then you do your baptism, you do all that shenanigans. You know, I went through all that. Even the priest saying, "Oh, I see you being like a priest in the future. Like I would see you making a great priest." And I as a kid, that's really weird to hear. You think about like, oh, but I've always been quite skeptical that everyone would just up and believe one specific thing because it's in this book that, you know. To me, I always thought, like, this seems a little weird to me that none of it is ever questioned. Right. Why am I like this? Am I different? Does that make me, like, a bad person? You know what I mean? Because normally when you think outside the box in these types of environments, you're labeled as, like, you know, bad or you're going to hell and all this and that. You know, oh, you worship Satan because, you know.
Yeah. I was even asked, I don't know, in the last maybe 3 or 4 years, you know, basically from other people, you know, because I started to deal with my one-on-one with God, you know, and you know, and they would ask, well, are you worshiping the same God that you worshiped before when you were in the, you know, when you were moving through the born again Christian stage? And my answer was, yeah, I just see more aspects of source. I see more aspects of, and even now I'm going to use a new.
I feel like what you're saying is you see past the imagery. Like you're not just labeling. Like I feel like religion tries to put God in a box.
Yeah.
Where like you could not even comprehend the concept of God and put him inside of a box because it's just it's not like possible to even comprehend to that, like, and place something so grand and so like consciousness essentially inside of a small box and define it in a specific way. That's just not the way it works. But
right.
I guess that's my view on it, which I know that I don't know everything, and I know that nobody actually knows anything. It's more of just trial and error and feeling and kind of just
being, right?
being, yes, experiencing through your truth. And the only way to know that is to look for God within yourself.
Yeah.
That is how you have the realest experience and the realest connection to that essence and that source and that creative force that we are all blessed and have, but many of us choose to ignore because we are trapped in these cages that we have built ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
Where I was just channeling like a motherfucker there.
So the reason why I was surprised at the way that you said that, I had a very similar conversation with my dad this morning when I was getting overwhelmed by all the things.
Hold on. Welcome, Scribe. Welcome you to the second portion of what might be another possible podcast. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead, Ray. You were talking about you were having a conversation with your father.
So my dad is very much more, what's the word I'm looking for? More traditionally born-again Christian now. But he was actually talking about something about being caged, and the way that he worded it was the exact same way that he said, you know, when you were a little girl, you told me that you drew yourself in a cage when all you needed to do was to be free or something. And I was just kind of like, you remember that? It's like, yeah, you drew it to the therapist and you said that you felt like you were caged in and you couldn't be yourself. So the fact that you picked up on that, well done, sir.
It's kind of going with the flow.
Yeah. My dad actually told me that he is an end-of-the-world prophet, but anytime when I explained to him other things about, like, how I connect to Source, how I connect to my guides, my deities, all of the things that be, he says, well, you can do dream interpreting, but stay away from the cards and the charms and all that other stuff. And I'm just thinking in my head, it's all the same shit.
But you know, and this the truth is all going to the fact that if we realize that we are not, and we are our soul is here for Earth School. It's using our body. It's using our mind, and that when the decision that it makes to transcend and move up the polarities back to merge with Source, it doesn't matter what type of tools we're using in this Earth School. That won't matter very much. And the more I learn about that, the more I feel, the more I understand that I'm not inside that cage anymore. Do you know? The more I get to, the more aware I become, the more I'm aware that there was a cage there, but it was of my own making because I made the choices, right? People downloaded the information, but I made the choices to utilize whatever tools they had downloaded. And then once I got to, ask it and body in question, it moved me forward in the growth that I needed. Be it easy or not easy, that didn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
Yo, this cat, where'd you come from?
Oh.
Hey.
Is that your friend?
Hey.
I thought so.
Dumbledore's getting slapped and slapped.
That's
Dumbledore was getting slapped around.
He's been coming
This movie sucks.
ever since I started doing those readings. He just kind of came out of nowhere.
Really? Oh. Wow.
You do understand he's one of your new familiars, right?
Hi.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get him something to eat. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yes, definitely, definitely. So, wow, you know, I knew that you had some Catholic roots. Please subscribe, and we have to talk again, DM, because we have to talk again for another session of another podcast session. So DM me, or I'll DM. It doesn't matter. We'll get in contact. So I did not know that for a time you did the Baptist background. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad actually pulled away from the Catholic Church for a while, but my mom is still to this day very devout, despite how she's been treated over the last few years. And it's interesting, like what was funny in the background, the kids were talking about how they're playing Lego Harry Potter right now. So when we were talking about the Earth School, when I was in Georgia, I showed pictures of Brian. I showed pictures of Grandpa Brian to little Brian.
Peter is saying
Well, uniform.
Oh, hi, Peter. But what was funny for me was I showed him the pictures, and he says, "Oh, Mommy, that's me." I said, "No, honey, that's Grandpa Brian." He says, "No, Mommy, that's me." And I just said, "Oh." And then I realized in that moment that essentially my son embodies two souls. He embodies his past life self because he wanted to be around his grandsons.
okay. That's the first that I heard it like. See, I thought this is the way I thought it, and I've always thought it ever since I was a kid, that our souls can embody us and also embody other timelines that are not necessarily us. That's
Correct.
right? And the deja vus that we have are not necessarily because it's us experiencing it in a different timeline, and it's possible that we're experiencing it as someone else.
I resonate with that.
What do you think about
Have you guys ever had dreams where you're other people?
Pardon?
Have you guys ever had dreams where you look in the mirror in the dream and you're a completely different person?
Yeah. And I always thought it was a dream, but I think what if it's, and Source is giving me this, what if it's a walking dream? We're awake in our duality, and we're in another dimension as a walking dream or as a daydream. Possible?
This is essentially another dream. I feel like it just depends on your level of awareness. Like I for example, have experienced being out in specific places, a certain level of awareness at times where it feels as if I'm walking through a dream. Like I'll step into like a different space of awareness in that like space around other people, but I'll feel like I'm just like gliding through. And the way I differentiate that level of awareness from just like regular, being awake awareness is the way that your body feels. It feels like there's nothing, no ailments, nothing, no heaviness. It's just like you're just kind of just flowing through the current of just movement and doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like
So,
definitely it's a dream.
Do you know, I'm asking for both of you. I feel like you probably would know more likely, Miguel, but Sandra, do you know how the Lego games work?
No.
So essentially in the Lego games on the video game consoles is the Lego characters are able to shift from one character to another simultaneously to be able to complete certain tasks for each other. So one character might be stronger for certain aspects of a part of that journey, but then you have to go to another room and shift into another character to have another task taken care of. And when you were talking about the duality, they were on dual screen.
Okay. You see, that's what I mean. There are so many dimensions of source opening up to us, and that's why when I write
That incense was killing me, yeah.
Hold on. Somebody else wants to come in. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna let one more person in.
Who do we got?
I think he'll be here shortly.
Hello, Sandra. How are you?
What's going on, brother?
We're gonna have a conversation. I knew you were gonna like this one, but the thing about it, when you said that it was on two screens, that's what I mean by multitasking. Okay, when I'm multitasking, and then the person said, you know, that kind of freaks me out. That makes me super anxious, and then Source said, we'll call it play-tasking. Well, the fact that you said two screens, that's play-tasking. Please, I wrote it down so I'll remember it. Source just
Play-tasking.
And the fact
There's a big reason why you needed to write that down, but that's a completely different topic than this part of the podcast. It's actually a vision for a business going forward that is in the works.
Okay. See, I kind of knew that that's what Source was pulling me into, but you and I are going to have a conversation, or we can make it a conversation, you know, without the total. So welcome, Peter. Welcome to we're going to call it Sandra's Soul Conversations with Sandra, and what I'm going to put this on my YouTube.
Yeah, sounds. You can put me on it.
Podcast.
I have had one of them weird weeks this week. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been 100% because of certain people, but I'm not going to mention it as much. But I've seen people for who they really are, and it's really made me like wake up. But I'm good. I'm good.
Well, sorry that you're experiencing those things, Peter, but I'm also happy that you found out sooner than later.
Do you know what? I think what had happened is I've took time to reflect and realise something, that certain people weren't who they were. And it just took me a little bit of time to figure out. But, you know, I don't wish anyone bad health or anything. Don't wish any of that stuff. But I'll talk to you more, Sandra, about it.
Yeah.
Don't even put the energy to the person's name or even the idea of the energy of the person, because why waste the time, your breath, your energy, or your frequency, friend?
Yeah. And it just put everything into perspective for me. And
that's what happens when we go to circumstances or situations or even conversations that will point us in a new direction, that will shed some light on what we need to know and move and grow us. And Peter, that's why I kind of like let it go. I let you know that I love you no matter what. I realize I see your shine and I see your growth, and you're the only one that could come to that that moment, that your moment. for you. And I'm just here. Matter of fact, we don't even have to talk about it. It's a past that needs not be talked about anymore. It's know this of me. The multi-dimensional me can embrace you and others that are learning and growing. There is always going to be growth. And I am here being utilized by Source in this Earth School to play, and we've all come here to play. Everyone right here comes to play at the tasks that we're given. So let's play.
I do want to apologise, Sandra, for the way I did speak to you, which was very out of line for me as well. So I do want to apologise for that, because I should have just went away from me and just went, okay, that person said that. Shouldn't have really directed the anger at people, individuals and stuff.
It's perfectly, your apology is accepted, but not required.
Yeah,
love doing
I just felt I had to.
Is there. It wasn't severed, it wasn't broken. It was received the way you needed to bend it, and I'm strong enough to receive it and allow Source to have it's already been transmuted and already been put out there for you. Okay.
But on a good note, you're gonna like this. I've got a little podcast set up.
Oh, buddy.
So I'm gonna figure out how to use it, because this is
It's all right. He'll be back. He touched the wrong button. He touched the wrong button. Anyway, I do feel while we're waiting for him to come back in, Miguel, tell us more about this lion workshop that you're doing.
Well, it's not a lion workshop. I'm doing a series on specific animal energies and how to invoke them and to use them for your personal development and spiritual development and the understanding of self.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do like a little bit on each one whenever I'm called to do a specific one, which it was the lion that started it all, because I woke up and it was like in my face. It came in as like,
Here you go.
anger.
I have an idea of a particular lion.
Can you are you muted? Okay, go ahead, Miguel.
So I keep the cat keeps getting my attention. Just came out of nowhere. Just giving him a little tuna.
Okay, so Peter, you're saying you're going to learn how to use your equipment to do your podcast, and then you're going to do your podcast on autism, correct?
I was going to do, I had an idea for doing podcast on what it's like living with autism day to day, and also not struggles, but how other people see us. So I was going to interview me friends and people who are not very close to me but know me well enough. And I was just going to say, well, what do you think of me, and just let it roll. But then I had the crazy idea to do, have you ever watched the cartoon series Creature Comforts?
The creature called what?
It was a series that Nick Park done called From the Wallace and Gromit, and it's called Creature Comforts.
Why does that sound familiar?
What he done, he got people to interview. He interviewed people just like a normal interview, and then what he done, he made animals like lions and stuff, and he put the interviews to the animals, and the animals were talking the you. It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Peter,
But
do
I
you
was thinking of,
resonate with the bear at all? And how does it make you feel when I say the word bear and the imageries that pop into your mind?
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh.
Do you know what I get with the bear? And it's very calm. It's a very calm animal. But when it's provoked, that's when it's fierce.
Yes. Yes.
It was already pulled.
It is. It's a very calm animal. It's a very intelligent animal. And I know any animal is backed into a corner, it will come out fierce, but it has a calmness about it. And it's also, oh, my ear is itching.
So the block was in reverse, and the color that popped up was purple, which is connecting with our crown. So if you haven't been acknowledging the bear spirit, the fact that Miguel picked up on it before he even knew that I pulled an inner child block before you came back onto the live, it's in the reverse because it's family. So that feeling of not being part of the family as you craved as a child. I use these as my inner child blocks. And I actually have been doing inner child block meditations. And what I've been incorporating is how in those moments can we connect to that inner child of a certain age that you resonate with and clear that blockage to be able to move forward into your now timeline. Because if we look at it from the aspect of Carlos Castaneda would tell, would learn from Don Juan Matias that he had no personal history because he was his now. He was not his past. He was not his future.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that it's in the reverse, Peter, take it if it resonates, if it vibes, then let it ride. But if there was always the feeling of, like, the aspect of, like, otherness, like wanting to always fit in with family, whether there was separation, whether it's just constant miscommunication, but if you look, there's the one bear being kind of, like, pulled to both sides of the car.
Yeah.
So it's like when we're forced to eat that extra food when we were a kid, when we knew that we were full, but there wasn't a better way for our parents to communicate when you're full, and not that we were wasting food, we were being ungrateful, all of those things.
Yeah.
And having those emotions be turned in on itself, because those were the building blocks that started becoming the blocks of our inner child. And not having that validity of our emotions to be heard, to be validated in that space.
Yeah.
So Miguel, when you said bear, what was that spirit feeling? Because there was a feeling that you felt.
It wants you to know that you can assert yourself. Like, you have that power to be assertive and, like, do what you want to do and not, like, just be moved by what you hear. Like, when you step into that, you'll realize that that leadership energy that perhaps, like, you look onto, it doesn't need to be there anymore. It's more like you have that within yourself, that ability to just be that force.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'll be honest with you, everything you've said there resonates with me to a T. I don't like being told what to do. When I was younger, before I got diagnosed with autism, I was the one that was everything you said. I was spot on. I was the actual kid that would get left out to things. People wouldn't tell me things as well because they knew I was the hothead of the family, the three of us. So they don't tell me things because they know if I find out, if I find out off a off a second source, then I go off my head. And I, funny enough, Miguel, you should say that. Me and my mate were talking about me being more assertive.
Yeah.
Being what?
Being more
assertive?
Assertive.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it was like, and I'm feeling that I am being more assertive now. And when people are telling me to do things, I'm going, why should I do that? No, I'm not going to do that anymore. Hey, Al.
Right. Good evening. Good evening,
LJ.
LJ.
Hey.
Oh, that's
awesome.
She pronounces it LJ. Okay. I sorry, I was going Ellie.
But yeah, that energy is what showed. Like I'm getting better at just kind of pinpointing when as soon as somebody comes across what comes in that realm. I used to be able to see it in people's imagery. Like it's like a cloak. It's almost like a separate aura in itself that cloaks the person. It has like a tie to your soul essentially, and it's a protective energy that everyone has to a specific animal. But now it's more just comes in as a more from a clairaudience type vibe, not through sight.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to pop on with the bear block was there a stuffed bear that you held on to for a long time, Peter? Like a lot of people gave you like flack for it, like growing up. I almost feel like a family member either took it away from you because you were too old for your bear.
We still have the same bear that I had when I was a kid. And it was a big, massive, it was about, I'd say, that big, a big, massive brown bear. And my sister has still got it. It's being passed down to the kids. So like my nieces and nephews have all had that bear. And it was a big, massive brown bear. But when I was younger, it used to have like something in it that when you shook it, it goes.
Stop it. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is a block that, if you so choose, is going to help activate another gift of yours in your crown chakra. What is the first age that comes to mind where you started feeling a block from your connection to source?
I've always known from an early age that I've had some sort of like gift. But it's only now I've noticed that my sort of gifts are coming. So there'll be the odd time when I'm feeling run down. Then
The first time that you can think of, like the first number that comes into your head, like when you was like 4 or 5, maybe like playground age, more or less. So maybe like 7 or 8. But there was a specific situation that it kept you off from your natural connection, and I feel like it had to do something with that bear.
15.
Okay. So in this moment, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to visualize your 15-year-old self. What was an activity that you liked to do at that age?
Brian, stop dashing on me. I didn't spell on you. You just did. I just.
Uai te shoshana te tishishi no kuanaha. Shashoko kua. Dai choko.
Okay. Wow. But I always used to be very. What am I saying? I always used to be very creative. being creative is always just, even now, well, more now, I think I'm starting to realize that the creative side
That right there, when you stopped yourself and you said, no, wait, I've always been creative. That's the moment where I'm talking about. There was a disconnection. You're reconnecting that. So your 15-year-old self just told you. But what was it that you were tapping into creatively that brought you so much bliss that was taken?
It was actually when I done an art exam, and a teacher said to me, you're never going to be good at art. You might, I'm not, that was, you're never going to be good at art. Ooh, what's that name?
Yes. Take it back. Open it up, open it up, open it up, open it up. It is yours. It was never theirs to take it from you. It was never theirs to deny you. You were born creative. You were born creative. You were born creative.
Do not hide your voice. You have lots to say, and you don't say because you feel like you won't be heard. So you need to speak.
It's just
Oh, Brian making that noise. My mom did that.
Here. As a child has, I have not spoke a spell on you that cannot hold you in a you can
Peter, who did you read? Who did you? Birds. The birds were going the entire time. They just shit the bed.
the cage was
The bed. Peter, who did you used to feed the birds with when you were growing up?
Ooh. My granddad. My granddad used to take me to Sefton Park, and then we'd go to the pub, and he'd go to me, don't tell your mum. He'd have a pint, and I'd have a pint of shandy.
You mean the spell? What's the dirt now?
best.
I want you to tap into your 15-year-old self. I want you to if you're better at visualizing, or even if you want to start drawing, I wouldn't be surprised if you'll start tapping into, you're going to start auto writing.
Yeah.
When you look at your artwork going forward, you're going to start paying attention to the imagery more, and you're going to start seeing the patterns lining up of how your artwork connects into your journey, into your spiritual reawakening. Because it's not that you're being awakened.
Can you see that? I drew that yesterday because something kept coming in my head. And it was like, arrows, why are arrows in my head? Why are arrows in my head? I don't know why. And just started drawing them. I was thinking, like you're saying, I could see the patterns. And I was like, And then I stopped and went, why did I draw that? It was just, I think, my subconscious brain letting go.
Miguel, you're spinning. Are you okay? Yes, you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're just.
I don't know. It's like froze.
Higher self. Let it go, brother.
Hi, Melissa.
Look at that still image. Why do I look so serious?
And Melissa, how are you?
Heard Miguel.
You just sounded French when you said that. Something, I didn't hear you speaking all of your language, but I heard something that sounded French. Who's French?
Oh, it was what I learned from school. So, oh, God.
Miguel, let us know if you can hear us.
And I'll be
I can hear you guys. I just don't know why my image is frozen.
Sorry. I didn't have any good memories of school, so I'm being careful how I sort of tap into it.
Well, the thing is, you're tapping into it. When you tap into anything in your past, your soul is with you when it goes there. So it will help you see, it'll help you discern what you need from your past instead of going there with your mind's ego that wants only to judge it. You know, so these questions that Ray.
Is my image still frozen?
Pardon?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, wow.
You're holding space, Miguel, while he is releasing energy of the block, because you also can resonate and heal in his processing in this moment of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. The thing that Miguel on the podcast earlier, when we were speaking, Miguel was speaking his light language. I also believe when you're ready, Peter, that is coming forth. It has nothing to do about me. It has nothing to do about anybody that you have spoken with that does this. It is for you when you're ready, and it will come when you are healing within. That which is within will come without. And
I feel there's still a lot of work for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I thought I was fully there, but I'm
There always is, brother. It's a process for all of us, man. Don't feel alone. You know, we're all dealing with specific things. You know, it's just taking it a day at a time.
Yeah.
And we here in this space, right, four of us, we have to understand this about Peter. When he's got a thought coming through, let him finish it. That's part of his spectrum. I know that we all understand that. Let him finish the thought, okay, before we confirm. Source is giving us the confirmation before he finishes the sentence. Is that okay for me to say?
No, yeah, that's okay. Sorry.
Source was just telling me, you know.
Oh, can I pull a card for people for what we would like a card? Because I said I'd never do them again, but I feel I'm in a good place.
You're doing it again. Wonderful.
Yeah.
My sons just said, switch the body, switch the body.
I'm
trying.
Can we ask this Miguel, even though we can't see your movement, can you pull
Did I just flip frames? What the fuck?
Well, you need to do, Miguel, Source just gave it to me. Go out and come back in.
My phone's gonna die soon, but I'll hang out till it dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm gone now. Do you know what I'm feeling?
He's gonna
Right.
come in, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Peter, can I ask you in that moment when we were doing the tapping back into your 15-year-old self, if you were sitting at the bar with your granddad, because I was told not grandpa, granddad, your granddad, and that kid that you remembered from school age, what would you say to yourself at those ages in that moment to make things a little bit better?
Stand up for yourself. Or was it a word? Yeah. Yes.
Or someone saying knock his block off?
Oh, yes. Can I say something? Your son's connected to me in somehow, because I think he's picking up on like my energies, like very chaotic. So I have got a very chaotic energy, and that is something I'd say. I'd knock his, but I wouldn't say it that nice. I'd knock his effing head off in a minute. That's what I'd say. So somehow he's picked up on that. I think your son's got the gift. I can really feel it.
Got the gift. He's got the gift of light language. He's got all of Ray's sons. Gifts are opening up.
Yeah. Right. I pulled 3 cards. So I pulled the Hanged Man reversed.
Is that?
That's over here. That's the dude in the car.
I was about to say, because it doesn't sound like it's close, but if it's me, I'm going to mute. Okay.
So
no, it's him zipping into his gifts.
So we've got the Hanged Man reversed. So it says you may be digging your heels in on a decision that must be made. However, this inaction will only delay the inevitable. If this card appears reversed, it may be an indication that you're not at peace with yourself or lack of faith in your inner instincts. When you absolve your inner turmoil, light beyond will proceed. And then,
can you show the card again? I turned off the comments so everybody could see it.
The Hangman reverse.
Reverse. Wonderful.
So, and then I got the Knight of Swords. I feel that someone in the room is going through something really rough. So the Knight of Swords is directness, logic, and authority, and I can't even read that word. INCISIVENESS. So this one is the Knight of Swords. Uttering a furious battle cry, the knight rushes headlong into battle. The Knight of Swords depicts a courageous perspective and decisive personality. He's not the one to mince words, hesitate, or let emotions get the best of him. When you find yourself in a situation that requires reason and logic, then you would do well to emulate his selfish ability to cut directly to the truth. However, there are times when his assertiveness and dominating methods are not the best approach. Take care to balance his positivity traits with compassion and diplomacy. diplomacy. And then the last one we've got is the Empress.
So in this moment, what would you like to hear from your grandfather when you were 15 to help you with that moment?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have one more before I turn the card back
I
on?
have one more, and I'm just trying to find it because I'm not used to these cards, you see, because I haven't done them for a while. So, right, the Empress. The Empress. So, fertility, femininity, nature, and abundance. The Empress crouches amidst the ferns, letting her life force flow into a glowing flower. The Empress represents the Earth Mother. She is the embodiment of femininity and the bringer of new life and growth. Her energy is both nurturing and sensual. She takes delight in seeing other beings flourish and thrive, and fills all things with pleasure and deep fulfillment. If the Empress appears, it's a sign that you should take some time to focus on creative expression and the sensual world. Finding a way to devote yourself, whether to another person or a creative project, is what will benefit you right now.
Wow. So anyone in the room, if that resonated with you, put a heart. If that was resonated for any of the readings, resonated with you. Yeah. So wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad that you're back to reading your cards. I truly believe that that is one of your gifts.
Yeah. I think what it was is I was getting a bit of a block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bit of a granddad block.
I love it. Wow.
You know what? We have to
the clear audience is coming through more.
So I'm going to let you guys go, and perhaps I'll be on later. But thank you for having me on again, Sandra.
Oh, thank you for,
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for making the suggestion. You know what? I have a card for you. Can I pull one for you, Miguel?
Me?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
Sure.
I have, and you know, I've been one. I haven't picked up the file because I've been so busy. But
let's hit it. Ready.
Literally, I have like a ton that dropped out, but hold on.
What does that say?
Hold on.
You have what you need.
Hold on. I mean, literally, they flew away from it, but this is what came out. It says soon.
Soon?
Soon. Right? Soon. Wow. So hold on a second.
There's a door I've been trying to open, and I think it's going to bust open soon.
Soon. That's the word.
My son is also getting ready to get picked up by his mom in a little while.
Right.
So it's interesting that you said that the door's going to be busting open soon. He's been very anxious. He always gets this way.
So soon, part of you may be feeling impatient. You may want to unfold here and now, and you may have difficulty waiting. You may feel you are missing something important, like you are in a race against time. Accept the pace of outer synchronicities. These can happen through unexpected events. I send you signs in the morning to help you channel your energy because they flow so quickly. Everything is too quick. To connect with me, this is your soul. Take time each morning for deep breathing. This will help you hear my message and my counsel. Be patient. Everything will take on meaning soon. Many of us are with you, says all your spirit guides. You feel our presence. We are here to guide and protect you in this intense phase.
My neck just got heavy.
Many things are changing in your inner and outer lives. You may feel like you are taking too many risks with far too much to do in too little time. This makes for a heavy mental load. We use today in the form of mirror hours. This is a new relationship with time. So you can check your energy into an order and set moments aside for yourself. You may feel you need to run faster and faster. Even if the outer pace quickens, you can move forward confidently and without scattering your energy. Pay attention to the symbols in the mirror of hours. This will help you feel our presence and move forward with greater confidence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If this resonates.
Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
Oh, the monkey mind. But again, when it comes to the energy of the root chakra and not feeling that we're grounded, not feeling safe, not feeling validated for our feelings, our experiences, we're not those little kids anymore. We choose to be our inner child, and we allow for them to be validated. So with that all being said, everybody take a deep breath in this room if you resonate with that. And we're going to blow it out like fire. And the blocks go bye, bye, bye.
Melissa says, Miguel, you are growing and expanding beautifully. Trust the process. All will have divine timing. Don't force it.
Excuse me, someone needs to be playing because I can't figure this out.
Wow. Thank you, Miguel, for joining me on both of these lives. Thank you for being.
Great. It's always a great way for me to expand and better understand myself as well as my environment. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
For having me. What does that say?
Charge.
Fool.
What is that?
Fool's journey.
The did that say the pool or the fool?
Fool. Fool's journey.
Ah, yes. Emerald Tranquility just joined.
One last message for me to you guys, and this is for me as well. Do not make yourself small for other people, ever.
Sure.
Do not do yourself the disservice of making yourself small
Sure.
at all. You know what's in here. You know what you have.
Sure.
Oh, and don't forget to stretch those hammies. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Hello?
How are you feeling, Peter?
Someone please help me? I'm seeing you as you know now.
Show me that card again. Peter, it's backwards, so you're going to have to help me out there.
It's the Emperor.
The Emperor. Let's hear about that. Let's hear about the Emperor. Oh, Peter, you're muted.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. So he was an emperor that would walk around people. Now, Greg, are you very good at like picking up negative energies and dismissing them very well, quick? Because that's what that card does. He was.
It says 77B LSC.
Yeah. So.
77B LSC. Let spirit connect. Wow.
Wow. So, as a young deity, the Jade Emperor wandered the earth humbly, helping humans make sense of the world. He taught them how to manage their settlements and their sorrows. To protect the humans, he also defeated the negative energies, referred to as demons. Although he possesses a love and energy more than that of a fighter, there are many accounts of the Jade Emperor retreating back to himself to gather his energy and strength in order to have the knowledge and power needed to conquer significant evil energies. It's because of these deeds he eventually became the administrator of the immortals, the heavenly ruler. Under his leadership are assistants who ensure his wu-wei, natural effortless action, is adhered to. These assistants are ordered accordingly to departments with different guards as the head of each department, but all take authority from the Jade Emperor. Should the Jade Emperor enter your realm, it may be time to reorganize, rearrange and reorder some part of your life. Planning is a key part of getting your desires met. Don't view it as a chore, but as something exciting. It leads you to where you most wish to be. Do you need to plan your schedule more effectively? Do you have too many assignments to write, or are your extracurricular activities keeping you so busy you feel hectic? If you have a job, is it difficult to find the time to do everything? Can you not decide what path you want to take because too many seem clamoring for attention? Write things out, plan your time and organise your thoughts and actions well, and the Jade Emperor can assist you with this. Having a clear, workable environment enables you to achieve much more in less time as well. Creating some simple systems can increase your flow of positive energies such as prosperity and creativity. Take this opportunity to streamline your life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, Phoebe. Welcome.
Hey, Fee.
Hello, everyone. Do you know what? I feel good, and I feel I needed that little, if I'm honest, little dip.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt I was at a crossroads where I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, am I focusing too much on stuff? And then I think I still need a little break, and I know that. So I'm okay with that, to be honest. So yeah, I'm getting back into it and getting back into the cards and stuff. So yeah.
But Peter, did it feel wonderful to get back into it?
Do you know what? Yeah. Because I felt pressurized to do them quite a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was losing interest. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do them anymore. Just people want them all the time. I'm not going to give my energy out until I feel 100% right in doing it again. And that's so, yeah, I feel good in doing them again and literally getting back into it.
And whenever you're doing a live and people want to request it of you, know this, Peter, that your answer can be no, not today. That's a full sentence with a period stop.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, or isn't moving it through you to do, then it's be okay to say no to them.
Yeah.
And if they come back, that's great. If they don't come back to your page, They weren't meant to be there, and it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I realize that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also if you're not reading it in the way that they believe you should read them, because you're only giving this information based, the information is only being moved through you, through source.
Yeah.
They don't like what source has said, then it's kind of like an, oh well, that's all I can do is be a vessel for source. Then you'll have to go somewhere else and try to find your answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I've got to that point now where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But as well, I'm also going to start protecting myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I realised something that a lot
Peter,
of
do you feel a little lighter?
Do you know what I am, you know?
How do I get it?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I was thinking it was funny that you were talking about being at a crossroad, and it was at the part in Lego Harry Potter where my son was saying 9 3/4.
9 3/4.
And I said, I'm talking to the person that's doing the reading right now, and he's got a British
9
accent.
3/4.
Hey, I tell you what, that's a good London
We're
accent.
playing Lego Harry Potter, and I'm wearing a herbology shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that.
When I remember the last Harry Potter, when he supposedly, died, and he went and he talked to, the wizard, and it was supposedly the image of 9 3/4. He was in the subway and that crossroads, and he was told, you have to go, pretty much and I'll just kind of paraphrase it. You have to believe what you believe, and you have to go in the flow of what resonates with you, right?
And my son just said over and over, it's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa, which is all about elevating.
Ah.
Yeah, it's about that particular scene was two things. It was definitely the resignation, the integration of the energy excelling or moving up, right? But it was also about being corrected.
Yeah.
Of people telling you, no, don't say it this way, say it this way. And the difference is Source wants you to know that when Source is correcting you, it is never a dig on who you are.
Yeah.
When you're hearing somebody give you a correction and it's not for your greater good, you don't feel it, it's okay for you to take a stand for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's okay. That's part of your evolution. That's part of your learning.
Yeah.
That's part of wisdom. That's part of your understanding. And people, if they're giving you correction for the greater good of all in the room and not just themselves, to make themselves better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not doing it to make themselves better, it's okay for you to say, well, I've had enough of this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And remember this, Peter, you're never wrong to say, I block somebody. That's what the block is for. When they don't resonate with what you want to give, you can
out.
So in the game, we're at the part where there's a thestral with the horse-drawn carriage, and my son just made a mention. He said, "That's not how it's like in the movie." the thestral's missing a block in his middle.
This says your time and energy is precious, Pete. It's okay to say no, and she puts a capital N on the word no, because that's a sentence in itself. No period is a sentence in itself to others. You always need to honor yourself first. That's the first law of loving yourself, is you honoring yourself.
Yeah.
Anybody else that comes in the rage of the bull in protecting you will understand you. They will be there.
Yeah.
Bull has finished, when the bear has finished, when the shark has finished, when the alligator has finished, when the lion has finished. All of these are strong animal creatures that are within you. And anybody not knowing you, on how you surrender, on how you process. Anyone that doesn't know you will leave, but everyone that knows you and understands you will still be there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because we all are honoring ourselves first. How we honor our first. See, the thing is, our souls learn and move up the polarity densities. In learning, it's going to learn the positive polarity, which is in service of others first to serve self. That means we serve others like ourselves. So we have to know ourselves. We have to fall in love with ourselves. We have to be accountable for ourselves in order to serve others, right?
Yeah.
Then the other soul is learning about, it's Earth School, is learning about the negative polarity. That's learning about doing for us regardless of anybody else.
Yeah.
We are taught that we can and others don't. So step over everybody else to
Got everything, bud?
Yeah.
And you know the difference. You know that you're giving soul. I could see it from right. So just know that you're on the right path. You are.
Yeah. Just got to realize that as well.
Yeah.
Next.
Go ahead, Ray. But hi, Relatia. I am going to have to turn off this live because you know what? My stomach, I don't know. Did you guys hear that? My stomach just growled loud.
My son's mom just came to get him. So he said bye before he left.
Oh, that's all.
Bye.
Yeah.
One. And I love.
But yes, go eat.
I love how you say my son's mom just came to get him, because you're acknowledging that it takes a village. Thank you, Ray.
I've always have encouraged my children that there will always be room for more people to love you. But the one thing that I have made sure my children understand is not everybody will love you the same way.
Yes. Truth.
And that was something that was never taught to their father.
Yeah.
So I'm instilling it in them.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the fact that he is not my biological son, he has already expressed to me that he is not my biological son in this lifetime.
But that he has been in another.
Before, yes. He told me that when he was 4.
Oh.
Yeah. He's 9 now.
Yes. You're just a shock. They shock. They shock.
But yeah, it it's
I'm sorry.
it's hard to do the right thing when other people try to tell you that it's not your responsibility, things along those lines. So I always try to do the best that I can, because I know whether my children are watching me or not, I want to know that I'm doing the best that I can to be the best example for them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. A card just jumped out while I was putting it away.
Of course it did. Hi, Blanche.
Hi, Jake.
Okay.
Hi, Paul. Paul Williams Official. Hello, hello. Welcome. Okay, so the card just jumped out. Wow. Okay. Let me just show you it. Wow.
Someone doesn't want me to see it.
Can you see it?
Ooh.
Wow.
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 I can't see.
Who can't?
I can't see the words. I can see that it's the jaguar or the panther.
It says submission. Submission. I don't know who it is.
And Miguel, you're still here.
Is he in the room?
No, his energy is, though.
Okay, so it says, part of you is submitting to something that isn't right for you. You know this very well because you verbalize it when you're alone. I hear you saying, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to. Or you say, it's unfair. I understand you because I feel the same way. This is your soul. Your soul is saying to someone in this room, may not be the three of us, but in this room that's moving through it, or on the replay, your soul is saying, I feel the same way because I know you. I've always been there with you. Okay. At that moment, or at the moment, we're both carrying or an inner burden, making us feel deeply tired. This fatigue may be emotional, physical, or psychological, or even energetic. The more you submit to this energy, emotion, situation, or relationship, the more trouble you have listening to and trusting me. Your soul is always talking to you. But sometimes our egoic mind, that subsystem, likes to be the talker of everything that is uncomfortable to you. Become aware that your needs aren't being heard. That part of you is submitting to something that isn't aligned with your needs or expectation. Stop listening to your inner ego. All it knows is chatter. It is not your enemy. It is not your best friend. But all it knows is to speak to protect you. And sometimes that protection is keeping you in a box, in a cage. Source wants you to know that the cage isn't locked. It isn't locked. By being in energy of liberation, you will recreate, you will recreate a connection with me. Your soul is saying, I have always been there. I will always be there. Speak to me. Listen to me. Sasuka te shenataku una. Na tashi shenataku a. Pay attention to your intuition again. So you can create space for change and renewal. You may feel you aren't being or receiving any signs, or that your intuition is weak, but that's only what your ego is telling you. But the submission you are under is blocking everything. Free yourself and allow yourself that you desire. You were born all. You deserve to use all of your gifts and all of your talents and all of your frequencies in every dimension, everywhere, all at once and not at once. You walk with the spirit that walks with you.
Yesterday when I was sweeping out my door, all my bags are packed and I'm ready to go. I'm standing outside your door. I hate to wake you up just to say goodbye. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Leaving on a jet plane.
I don't know when I'll be back again. It makes my ears happy to hear you sing again. It's a good guy.
Thank you guys for being part of this wonderful life. Thank you. I love you, Peter.
Love you too, Sandra.
I can't wait for you to take your shirt off again for me. Kiss you.
No, that's going on. Oh, I think Ray's getting hot flushes there. It's like that.
No, she is having a hot flush. I'm trying not to cry.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay.
I love you, Ray.
No, me shit, that's it, shit.
Toku ute she no toko a. Peo tu she na taki kia ha. Tu ngai she na taki ki lai pu. Te shon toku ute te shon na te ki kia na te. Ma hule he she na taki pa. Ana kia she na toku ole. Mea tu she na toku ole ki ne ki kia na ka. My whole kiss my heart. My heart serves you. Yes, you thought you. Pakushia na kiana. My voice speaks to you. Kashishinataki ole a shishanate e. My eyes see you. Kosheshinatoku o te e na hia na kushinata e. Oshala ki e senate e. Maltoku o peshenaka a. Peshishinate e a. Toshanataku o tai. Aha. Kosheshinate e. I serve you with love. Thank you for this live.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you, Ray. DM me or you have to talk. Watch your show.
Yes.
Anytime
Yes. After you eat.
anytime you want to talk, Peter, you can always DM me.
Yeah.
As we close out this circle, 10845, and then the reverse of that, because we have to open and close the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine.
10845. 10845. 10845.
54801. There you go. 54801. 54801.
1054801. Bye-bye. Take care.
Catch you later.
Oh, I am going to, in order for you guys to use this on your own reels, I found out I have to select you or choose you as a collaborator so that you can use it, but you do have to accept it. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty.
All right.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.